Hi guys, have you subscribed to this Donna Dewberry channel? Well, I'm thrilled to come on and share with you lots of lessons, but to do that, I need you to subscribe and go to notifications and ring the bell so that you're notified when I'm coming on. I have lots of special free streaming lessons that are great for you to come on live with me. So please go do that and stay tuned for the lesson. Welcome everybody. This is Relax and Paint, which you take a really deep breath, relax, and let's have fun painting this morning. I'm liking that I'm doing little containers and jars and a few little flowers just to like warm you up to the technique. And then if you go to practice stroke, you get to learn lots there. Right now it's the 4th of July weekend and just enjoying relaxing and taking some time off and being grateful that we have the freedoms we have in our country. And I'm grateful for each one of you. So I hope that you enjoy today's lesson and take a deep breath and have your fingers hanging down beside you. Have some hot tea or hot coffee or hot tea this morning, and or I might have a Diet Coke and just relax and hope that you see something you really like this morning. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to be, where are we going? Right down here. I'm going to be using some fun art paper again. It's kind of fun because I don't have to do the base coat and I can take and share some fun technique with you. This is more grayscale paper, but it goes from black to darker gray, then to the medium gray that I'm using, and then a really light gray, and then white. So it's got a little bit of, texture to it. And you definitely do need floating medium because the paint's going to absorb in here. And I can get little watercolor effects with it. And so I'm using multi-surface paint. I love this FolkArt multi-surface. It's yummy. All right, so I have some colors because I've been painting a little bit this morning, so I put some already out. I have magenta and white, wicker white or titanium white. I have some burnt umber and maybe some coffee latte. Floating medium, that's the fluff that's inside paint with no pigment. And I put a little citrus green here and some teal. So those are the colors I'm working with to start with. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make a little jar, like a mason jar, and I'm going to put it right over here. I think I'm going to go about that big. So here's the oval where the lid is, okay? And then I come down with, let's get a little bit closer so y'all can see. But it's only, here's halfway. So it's below halfway. Can you see? There you go. So we want the jar low enough that you can get a stem in there and not have any problem with it being on our 9x12 paper. All right. So I'm sketching. When you're drawing, these are just little mechanical pencils with a white eraser. And I'm just drawing, sketching, not heavy lines. So you lightly sketch is what you want to be doing. We also want to come and have a circle in here so you can see the inside of the jar. And this is the top of the jar. So now this jar, sometimes you don't see the jar lid because, or the edge, because the screw on the edge or whatever, because it's so full of flowers. But this one we would. So let me show you that we are going to see a little bit of that. All right. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take a 12, or maybe, let's see. Yeah, this is a 12. I'm going to take some floating medium, and I'm going to use a teal color instead of a blue. Okay, so more medium, and I'm just side stroking. See that, side stroking a little bit. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to come along here with the edge that I took into the teal paint. Okay, a little bit larger. And then I'm going to zigzag along this edge where it would be screwed. The screw marks on the ridges there so that the lid will screw on, right? All right, so this is the back. And I'm going to put some of this on top just to let you see this is going to be the top edge, but we're going to put the stems in first and then come back. So it's okay for all this lead to show. I'm going to come along here and pull down. Now I need more paint. I'm going to come straight down, and my little finger's pulling me. Now I think you saw some of my jars that I make the jar disappear and you don't see the whole thing. So right here, what's important is that we do the inside ring on the jar that you're going to see. All right, that's the back of the jar. See this line? It's going to dry up and look and disappear. But right now, I'm going to come on down on this side. So I can come right here. Let me turn it a little bit. That might help you. Especially if you're lefty or righty. One side works better than the other. All right. So all the top of the jar comes on after we do our stems. Okay. Now these stems are a little bit rustic. And it's got some little dogwood blossoms on what we're going to be painting. So I'm going to take these two colors, burnt umber and coffee latte, pick up medium, really good medium, because I want it thin, not painted like watercolor like. All right. So I'm going to come in here with one twig. All right. So watch what happens. I'm going to lead with the dark. And I'm going, let me come up a little bit so you can see. I'm going to come up into the jar and higher. So we want it kind of really thin little sticks when it gets up here. All right, so I'm looking at my twiggy looking branch. This is all inside the jar. So look, I'm touching here, I'm lifting, watch, I'm lifting the front and I'm just dragging the burnt umber edge. All right. See that? And then you want them really light and thin. So if you lift up the front, just the last little bristles, okay? And so this would be a fun little greeting card also. You can use it for all types of occasions with a little bit of dogwood. And then we're going to cover this jar a little bit later. All right, now I am going to put a couple little green, let's see, a little bit of teal with a little citrus. All right, so using teal sometimes instead of thicket or sap is kind of fun. All right, so then I'm going to touch a teeny bit of white. Little bits of white. Get a little bit more medium. All right, so let's add a few of these. So we're going to go really skinny and come back. So here we go. I'm only looking at the little white, light green edge. Okay, a little one over here. Can you see that? All righty, there we go. So just a few little twigs. They really don't really have dogwood. You wouldn't see much green if the blossoms are out, from what I understand. Not that we have a lot of apple trees here or dogwood trees, which these are the same kind of blooms. So I'm taking the 12 still and I'm doing magenta and side loading wicker white. So I dip magenta and I go back and forth with this white. All right, so I want a couple of these kind of dark. So let's look up really close. Are y'all breathing, relaxing, sitting there just watching me this morning? Or are you painting with me? I hope you come back and paint with me and stop it in between till you get, like, it might take you a little bit longer to get your branches in, and then turn it back on and do a little bit more. So this is kind of just like the leaves I did. Watch this. We're coming wiggling up and then back down, up and back. And when I do, this is the key, guys. Let me show you again here. I'm wiggling up and then I'm laying the white over to the right. So you get that wider up, lay it back, and stand up. Now when I do this sometimes, watch, I can put one more on top of here and one more here, but lay it back so it makes it look like a petal is going backwards there. Isn't that fun? Now I do have to make a branch right there. Okay. Now I'm going to do one more dark up here. So look, wiggle and then pull back, wiggle. Now watch this. Push down, lift, push down, lift. So it's kind of like pressure, lift. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm wiping off some of that magenta and I want to come back over here. I wiped off a little bit and then I want a lot of white. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to do a little white petal. This is the biggest one. Little white. And I'm going to make these really, right, really nice and closer to you. These other blossoms were back more. All right, isn't that kind of pretty? And then I can take some that are a little bit, I covered that pretty leaf, so I might want another leaf in here somewhere. See, that looks like it's turned down. You want to see that again? We do 1, 2, 3, and then I picked up white, and I do another one. So they look like they're hanging down. I think it's really nice to put a really bright white one up here because they're different stages of blooming. Let's come up here and down here. Okay. So isn't it fun how quick this came together? All right. We have a lot of little blooms in here. All right. We have a couple that are just going to be right in here. So just enjoy yourself. Take and do just a couple blossoms or more blossoms. All right. Cherry blossoms, dogwood. These are not dogwood. These are cherry blossoms. I'm sorry. I kept calling them dogwood. Dogwood has that little niche in the petal. This is like cherry blossoms, like you see a lot in Japan. A lot of cherry blossom trees in Georgia. There's all kinds of places. Cherry blossoms, not dogwood. You probably said, "Are you awake this morning, Donna?" All right. So what I want to do is come in with a few more twiggy greens since I covered one of those up. I covered that pretty one there up. And I need a little bit more white in there to make it really stand out. There we go. Some flowers have no leaves when they're blooming. Just to let you know that. You probably already know that, but I'm just letting you know. It could be little buds. All right, I got to grab a couple of these that don't look like they're attached. Okay. Okay, let's do this one here. Isn't that kind of pretty? And just think there's all colors of paper. You can get tan colors. You can get all different shades that come in packets like this. And they're mixed media. That's what they are. Okay, so I'm going to do those centers, but first thing I want to do is come in here and get medium again and get some more of the teal. And then we're going to go across here to finish this jar. All right, now we need this all on top of the branches. So this what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up a teeny bit of white and I'm going to rub this all into the medium. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to come right in here. I'm going to go across here lightly, but I need lots of medium so it goes really thin. Can you see that? Oops. Let's get it thin so you can see through it. The first thing I did was to do the background so that you'd know where to keep the stems inside of. All right. Now, I can come in here and lay a paper towel and take some of this off if it's looking a little darker. There we go. All right, and I can take a little bit of medium and have a glare out here, a shadow. Okay. All right, just like that there. I can also do a teeny bit. Let's get a little bit of white. All right, so I'm going to come across here. And do a few of these chisel, up on the chisel, little lines. Okay. And then I'm going to come in here and pull down. And here and pull down. Okay, so what's happening is that's the glare of the glass. So right in here. A little bit more there. All right, and then I can take a little bit of a glare across here. And look, push and chisel just a couple of lights. Need a little bit more there. Okay, so remember, chisel here So you see the little ridges, a little bit in here. So you can see the glass jar. I also just want to come with some medium and a teeny bit of white. I want to have the water line. I should have done the water line first. So you want the branch to be in the water. All right, so I'm going to go back over that. Okay, can you see that? So it looks like it's sitting in water. All right, I made the back and the front water line. See that? And then I'm just going to take off the front. So it looks like it's in the water. All right. Isn't that kind of fun? Now let's just take our little script liner. We have a 1 script liner. Oh, that's a 2. Let's get a 1. A 1 script liner, and we're going to put little specks. Let's get a little bit of magenta. And in some of these, we'll put little teeny specks, little darker specks in here. They won't show too well. Oh, this one needs a stem, doesn't it? So right in here, and these cherry blossoms. Little teeny tapping. A little bit of tapping in there. Little teeny, teeny, teeny. Just gives you some definition. All right, a little bit more in here. Okay, a little bit in here. All right, so now these darker pink ones, you wouldn't see that very well. So now I'm just going to take my burnt umber, and I'm just going to burn umber in a little bit of white. Let's see what that looks like. Little teeny dabs. All right, let's take this and bring it over. All right, so this one also needs to be attached. Okay. A little bit of white on that brown burnt umber over here. And okay, so we're going to do little teeny dots right in the center to give you a nice look. Now you get burnt umber, and then I touch the white. Oops, but I have to keep doing that so I get both on there. All right, there we go. So I hope you enjoy this. Let's focus a little bit. There we go. There's our jar, our little leaves. And I'm going to sign with my 2 script liner. You can sign with a pencil too when you're doing drawings like this. But I want you to see that I am doing all downward strokes. All right, show me what you put this on. Try some cards. We can come in here and do a little bit of extra lines. You can just add a little bit here and there. I can come along here and make it a little bit more solid. A little bit down here. You can also put little bits just to make this highlight a little bit. Okay, was that fun? Let's see what yours turns out like. And share, 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 okay? If you haven't joined the One Stroke Advantage, we are having classes every Friday that you can go back and watch as many times as you want, plus extra tips on drawing and painting. There you go. Thank you guys. See you next week.